Welcome in. This is Chiefs Chase, and I am Mike Bassano. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 2, and we are going to have a lot of fun. And the NFL is obsessed with Taylor Swift, and we'll get to that here in just a moment, as well as take a nice trip down memory lane to see the Chiefs of the 90s in a poster that I had above my bed that I'm sure most people have either forgotten about or forcibly pushed out of their memory. But first, the Raiders have poked the bear. How could you be so stupid? As a safety, you're a safety, a rookie for a team that hasn't won anything. Forever. Not since John Madden. Remember when, what was his name? He coached at Nebraska. Bill Callahan. Good God. What a disaster. Took John Gruden's team with Rich Gannon, got to the Super Bowl and then got beaten by John Gruden because the fact of the matter is, the Raiders are the Raiders. You can move to Vegas, you can move to Oakland, you can move to Los Angeles, you can move to the moon. But the fact of the matter remains that the Raiders are a poverty franchise. They are trash. Their stadium is trash. And the Chiefs own it because they've already won a title in the stadium where John Elway had to walk the Lombardi Trophy up to the Chiefs at the Raiders Stadium. Was that not the most amazing moment in the history of your Chiefs fandom? It's mine. But these idiot Raiders and their stupid rookie, what was this clown's name again? Trey Taylor has a video going viral where the Raiders use a Kermit the Frog puppet dressed as Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes' voice has been made fun of forever by hacks. Let me be very clear about this. People who are like, oh, I'm going to make a Patrick Mahomes. You're a hack. It's okay. There's been a lot before you. There will be a lot after you. You're a fucking hack. And by the way, every person who's had that idea, Trey Taylor, who's a rookie and a moron, had the same idea. So congratulations. You're in the same category as Trey Taylor. That must be rough to handle. Making fun of Patrick Mahomes' voice is the most pathetic thing that I've ever heard in my life. It's what people do when they lack the intelligence to create a legitimate take, or to just shut up and practice and try to make your team because you're a rookie safety, or try to make the starting squad, or try to make the Pro Bowl as a rookie. There's a lot of things that you can accomplish and a lot of things that you can do that don't involve making fun of Patrick Mahomes' voice, because that's just a sad, pathetic attempt at humor. And people who aren't funny tend to make those chances. So, chasing history, which is why this is called Chiefs Chase. Chiefs trying to become the first team in history to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And while chasing history, you want to have as many motivating factors as humanly possible. I'm sure there's plenty of motivation involved in every single facet, but every little bit helps. And I remember when I used to be a sports talk show host, there were plenty of hosts and even ex-players that were like, hey, man, it doesn't matter. These guys are professionals. They're showing up the same level of motivation every week. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And frankly, if you followed the Chiefs the last 5 years, you should know it's bullshit. It was dumb when players were saying it in the 80s, and it's dumb now. Because the players get motivated. Think about your job. Where you're just like, oh, they give me a paycheck. That's all the motivation I need. Okay. Where? Where has that ever happened? This motivating factor, emotional motivation, is everything. It's why when companies want to fire you up, they bring in speakers. Because emotional motivation means everything. The money, considering that the only motivating factor, is stupid. It is not the only motivating factor. It is one of the motivating factors, probably the one that helps you get out of the bed most days, right? But if somebody lights a fire under you, positively or negatively, and in this case, negatively, it's going to have an effect. Patrick Mahomes is a killer, man. You don't want to mess with Mahomes. The Bears didn't take him. He went to their place, counted to 10 after he scored on him. Think he'll ever lose to the Bears? No, not in a million years. Remember when the 49ers said he's just a regular quarterback? We're going to make his ass look regular. Now, Patrick didn't hear that in the moment, but I do remember a moment this year after they won the Super Bowl and after that mic'd up came out, the Chiefs had a parade. And his wife, Brittany Mahomes, got in his ear while he was talking and said, hey, but you're just a regular quarterback. Don't forget that. You think Brittany's going to let him forget about this? I don't. I think this is going to be a really rough year for the Raiders against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes asked about it in his press conference, and he just said, hey, we'll deal with it when we deal with it. It's not what you want to hear. If you're, what's this dude's name? Trey Taylor? It's not what you want to hear. We'll deal with it when we deal with it. We'll get to it when we get to it. We'll handle it when we handle it. Listen, man. Here's the deal. This is one of those things where when you see the bear in the woods, which is, at least for me, preferable to seeing a man in the woods. I don't know, some weird internet thing. I'll never understand how the internet works. Would a woman rather see a man or a bear in the woods? I don't know, but if I see Patrick Mahomes in the woods, I'm sure as shit not going to make fun of his voice. Because I don't want to get absolutely annihilated when I have to play against him. That's not some, like... I'm not reinventing the wheel by saying this. This is not some, like, shocking revelation. This is a guy who has made people eat their words over and over and over again. And I don't know how much it motivates him, but I could argue just based on results alone, Patrick Mahomes, when somebody tries to rile him up, he goes for the jugular and he connects every single time. Tom Brady never talked crap about Patrick Mahomes. Beat Mahomes twice in the postseason. I'm just saying. Oh, by the way, speaking of quarterbacks that beat Mahomes in the postseason, there's only one other one other than Tom Brady, and he's gone full Cody Rhodes. We'll figure out what's going on with Joe Burrow coming up in just a bit, but first, the NFL is addicted to Taylor Swift. They're addicted. They can't help themselves. They love Taylor, and anything that has to do with Travis is going to explode. And the reason I bring that up this week is because, well, the Chiefs had a little skirmish. George Karlaftis, who is a badass. Karlaftis, defensive end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Very instrumental in last year's Super Bowl run and had a lot to do with the year before, too. Karlaftis is a monster. And he let Kadarius Toney have it during practice and training camp. He took a nice little shot, put a little extra sauce on it, you know? Look, I don't know everything. I can only speculate from what I believe. And watching that, I think George Karlaftis saw the same drops that we saw last year. Sorry. I feel like George probably saw a shot to give him just put a little extra mustard on it and took it, right? And, Kadarius Toney threw the ball at him. He actually kind of hit him, which was impressive because I wasn't aware that Kadarius Toney could really do things. Well, I'm sorry. The guy has kind of run out of chances for me. And the reason I say that is, Rob Gronkowski said this last year, and it's true. When someone's dropping the ball that much, you have to question whether or not he cares. Do you care? I think it's a fair question to ask because this isn't like trying to get faster or stronger or, there are so many things in sports you don't have control over. You can't develop your speed that much. You can't develop your strength tons. You can develop it quite a bit, but a lot of what happens, especially if you want to get to the NFL level, it comes down to just sheer God-given, nature-given talent. That's the absolute 100% truth. But catching the ball? Well, catching the ball comes down to effort, comes down to want to. Sit in front of the jugs machine for 3 hours. You'll get better at catching the ball. If you do that every day for a week, you'll get a lot better at catching the ball. I think there's a question as to whether or not Kadarius Toney cares. Well, then why would he? Kadarius Toney has been consistently so athletic that it didn't matter if he cared. He's now at a level where it does. Being super athletic isn't going to help him. I think there is a question as to his work ethic. Now, with all that said, what does this have to do with Taylor Swift? Well, Travis Kelce stepped in. Travis Kelce stepped in and said 2 words. And now it's a national story because the NFL is addicted to Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce, that was just a skirmish at practice, by the way. I wanted to get into the Tony thing a little bit because I thought what Rob Gronkowski said last year was important and should be shared. Absolutely. That's how I feel. That said, this skirmish happens at every practice, at every NFL training camp. There isn't a camp that goes by without one of these probably per day. But with Travis Kelce, it was shocking to me how much of a microscope he really is under. Because Taylor is nowhere to be seen in St. Joe, Missouri. Taylor's not out there in St. Joe. That's not what she's doing. But Travis Kelce does anything, and it's national headlines because now he and Taylor have become that connected in everybody's mind. And the NFL's not stupid. They want that Taylor Swift money, baby. You want to keep having the Swifties click on all your stories. You want to keep having every person that is involved in liking Taylor Swift liking the NFL. And that's how they have to operate. It's a business. Could you imagine Roger Goodell going to the other owners, going to the people who put him in his position as commissioner of the NFL, and him just going, hey, guys, there is a lot of money to be made on this Taylor Swift thing, but it could get a little much for some people. They'd fire him for great reason. But I thought that skirmish and the resulting media frenzy, that I saw it everywhere, man. Non-sports places. Like, oh, Travis Kelce involved in a scuffle at training camp. Oh, Taylor Swift's boyfriend showing violent tendencies. Man, I can't wait for the op-ed piece in the Washington Post. Of course, they won't do that because I'm pretty sure the people that Taylor works for, I'm pretty sure they also own the Washington Post. So I think we don't have to worry about that. But hey, there's going to be some angry tweets. NFL is addicted to Taylor Swift. Oh, now we have to get to this. Joe Burrow has changed his hair. He's gone full Cody Rhodes. He looks like Cody Rhodes and Eminem had a baby. And that baby throws footballs. Joe Burrow changed his hair. He said he just got bored. I disagree. I think this is what Patrick Mahomes does to people. They get desperate, Joe Burrow's feeling desperate because, you can hold your 3-1 record over Patrick all you want to, whatever. No one cares. The fact is 3 rings to none. Now, Burrow is a hell of a player. The only quarterback not named Tom Brady to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. It's incredibly impressive. It really is. And I think Burrow is a very skilled quarterback, and he's great. It's very tough to lose your first Super Bowl and come back. I don't think anyone's done it since the 90s. A quarterback has lost their first Super Bowl. Not a later one, because I know Mahomes lost to Brady and the Bucs, and yeah, whatever. I want to erase that night from my memory forever. But in their first Super Bowl, got Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, guys who are great quarterbacks, tend to not really get there again. It hasn't happened since the 90s, where a quarterback is lost in his first Super Bowl and then returned. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to break the trend. But Joe Burrow might, and I understand when he wants to just Garoppolo catching strays out here. I like Jimmy G too, dude, but it's just sometimes it's too easy. But Joe Burrow can come back. He is that skilled, that much of a competitor, and that good. I have a ton of respect for Joe Burrow. I think his hair is a cry for help. I think he needs someone to help him get over the Patrick Mahomes hump, and I don't know if he can. Joe Burrow, with his new hair, he has a good receiving core. He's got all the weapons in place. When he's healthy, Joe Burrow is an elite level quarterback. I think he's on par with Patrick Mahomes. I do. Not resume and all that stuff, no. But as far as what you're seeing on the field, ability to produce, ability to put up numbers, ability to throw tutties, yeah, Joe Burrow's on that level. Using the same conversation, Mahomes a little bit in a league of his own, but that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow area, yeah, of course. They're elite quarterbacks. But I just can't get over the fact that I think Pat's in his head a little bit. Just when someone makes a major change like that right before training camp, it makes you wonder, is he overthinking things a little bit? I don't know, Slim Shady. I don't know. Maybe he did see Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and now he wants to finish his story. Joe Burrow finishes the story. I will cry if that happens. If Joe Burrow beats the Chiefs in the playoffs this year, I will cry. I'm dead serious, and I'll do it right here on this show. I don't care. I'm doing the show every week throughout the end of the season, and if that season ends with a Joe Burrow victory over Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to puke on the show. That's going to happen. All right, now, a couple more things to get to. So I brought up when we started the show about old 90s poster. I had a poster. And I just got brought up because somebody was sending me a link to all the old 90s posters and 80s posters for athletes. They were so good. They were the Bermuda Triangle with the Bears and Mike Singletary. That was awesome. Like, there were so many really great nicknames. And the Chiefs had a poster that I had above my bed as a child named The Tribe. If you're watching the podcast, you can see this on your screen right now. And as one can imagine, this is not the photo that I think progressives would enjoy. Now, here's the thing. I like it. I say bring it back. Natives felt pride. You know how upset they are that the logo for the Redskins is gone? Here's what's interesting. People thought they were helping when they were like, we need to get rid of this Native American imagery. It's a mockery. They thought they were helping, I think, maybe. Or maybe they were just looking for money for their nonprofit. I don't know. But let's operate in the world where they think they're helping. And that's okay. A lot of people who think they're helping screw things up. But now what you have is less representation for Native Americans. That's your result. Your heart might have been in the right place, but you didn't think it through, like a lot of dumb people. Heart can be in the right place, but you got to think, okay, we get rid of the Redskins. They changed the Commanders. Great. Now what? Well, nothing's gotten better for the Native American community. If anything, they're more broke. And let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, all of the imagery that they had that made them have some sense of pride, it's gone. Replaced with a blocked W, and the Commanders, who have their like logo used to be Hail to the Red logo, but slogan, whatever you call it, right? Used to be called Hail to the Redskins, HTTR, one of the most iconic things in all of football. Now they say, let's take command. You call that progress? I'm sorry. I don't. I say bring them back. You thought you were helping them and you erased them. That's what happened. And there's a huge push to try to bring the Redskins back from the Native American community, because why would you want to erase the legacy? Why would you want to erase the imagery of your people? No one who's smart would want that. Because then what? It's like, oh, they got rid of it. Good. Now we can just fade into obscurity. And then no one will know about our past. Who the fuck came up with that idea? Seriously. Who was that stupid? All right, let's move on. But bring those old posters back, though, man. They were great. The land of the Boz. Remember Boz? God, Bosworth was the man. All right, Chiefs, Taylor Swift pump-up song of the week coming up. But first, the Chiefs have been in the Final Four every year since Mahomes took over. Got the image up there for you now via DraftKings. And obviously, the Chiefs are the only franchise to do it since 2018 to now. It's an absurd run. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 6 years in a row the Chiefs have been in the Final Four of the NFL. That's absolutely preposterous. What the Chiefs have been able to accomplish in the Mahomes era is astronomical. And I want to make sure I point this part out. One, we are living the good old days, so just sit back, relax, grab yourself a brew, and enjoy it, because the chances of this ever happening again, get out. Ask the Cowboys. They're still talking about the 90s. Ask the Patriots. They're already in their glory years talk. So you have to enjoy it while it's happening. We are in the good old days. And the other thing I want to point out, I see a lot of comments on the internet, the anti-Patrick Mahomes comments, normally from Bengals fans because they're salty and sad and hate their lives. They say that Patrick Mahomes is benefiting just from having Andy Reid. And while I understand that's true, absolutely, Andy Reid's one of the best head coaches to ever coach in the NFL. But Alex Smith had him too. From 2013 to 2017, the Chiefs never even made it to the AFC Championship game. And Alex Smith is a damn good quarterback. I think he'll make a really good coach one day. Very smart guy, very studious, helped Patrick Mahomes immensely in Patrick's first year, for him understanding what it takes to win and what it takes to prepare every week in the NFL. Nobody better to learn from than Alex Smith. I love Alex Smith. And I love Andy Reid. And I love Travis Kelce. But the reason the Chiefs have been in the Final Four the last 6 years is because of Patrick Mahomes. That's it. All these guys were really good before Patrick. They were all really good. I mean, Travis was having 1,000-yard seasons back to back to back before Patrick Mahomes took over. Andy Reid had an illustrious career. However, everyone said he can't get over the hump. He can't win the big one. And you know why he couldn't win the big one? Because Andy Reid has a tendency to make massive mistakes at the worst possible moment. Doesn't matter when 15's got the ball. There are multiple playoff games I can point to and show you where Andy Reid screwed up, and it didn't matter because Patrick Mahomes broke off a long run against the Titans, spin move into the end zone, touchdown. Remember that? The run, the out-of-this-world run. Watch that whole thing. Andy Reid fucked up the clock management. The whole management of the game was screwed before that play. Something we all would have been talking about on Monday. Every sports talk show in Kansas City would have been covering it. They would have had another meltdown. Oh, no, the Chiefs can't win with Andy Reid as head coach. Another blunder. What Patrick Mahomes gives you is an ability to make mistakes, make those blunders, and then he just does something magical. God, it's awesome, isn't it? It's the best thing in the world. Here is your Taylor Swift Chiefs Pump Up Song of the Week. Feeling 22. I'll tell you, everybody in Kansas City and every Chiefs fan across the globe is going to be feeling 22. 22 years old all over again when the Chiefs chase history and complete their three-peat. I'm Mike Bassano. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week.